Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Tech Solutions. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day. Hope that you guys can hear me okay. I'm going to try to make this pretty quick, but I want to make sure that we all know that all the stocks that we talk about in this video are not in any way any stock suggestions. They're just the ones that I see value in this week. And yeah, that's really just it. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen so you guys can see exactly what it is that I'm going to be covering. So this is for my 2-day Ameritrade account. I set up 2 different plans. This is the plan for the stock market growth challenge this week. This is for me. Doesn't mean that it has to be for you. And then this is for the 2-day Ameritrade account and the series of stocks that I'm watching on my active uptrend watch list. So the first one is ticker symbol IQ. IQ I see as an ascending. Sorry about that. IQ I see as an ascending uptrend pattern. It's doing a very good job staying true to this EMA line. Recently had a sell-off from it getting rejected right around $45, sold off, balanced at around the SMA line, started to make higher highs, holding above the EMA. We talked about this one yesterday in our Sunday stock talk. It did very well today. Pressed a little bit over. Or pushed a little bit over 8% profit. Had a really nice pullback during aftermarket hours, so I found that to be very attractive for tomorrow. So if it still stays true to this EMA line, again, keyword if it still stays true. So if it still holds above this EMA line and continues this ascending uptrend pattern, this is pretty much my plan. Entry at around 35, exit at around 37 plus. And then stop loss if it breaks below the 4-hour EMA, which is this blue line that you see here. Margin of profit, margin of loss, and very simple breakdown, right? The next one's going to be ticker symbol M as in Macy's, right? Macy's has been showing signs of a descending pattern ever since it got rejected from this $40 resistance. It's been making lower highs and higher lows as well. One thing that we can notice is that it's approaching this SMA line where it normally tends to bounce at. Just because it's done it before doesn't mean that it has to do it again. So let's make sure that we understand that. The whole point that this is in our watch list is because we're watching it, not that we actually have to trade it. So something that I would like to see is for Macy's to hold above $37. That's ideally where I would like to get in. And based on previous resistance, I know that there's going to be a resistance right around $40. I'm pretty conservative, so I would like to cover profits at around $39 as that's been a previous resistance. So overall margin of profit would put me at 5.25%. The stop loss right around 36.50 below the 4-hour EMA put me at a stop loss of 1.1%. So that's my breakdown for ticker symbol M. The next one is ticker symbol Z. We've been watching this one for quite some time. It's been doing a very nice job holding above this overall EMA line. Overall resistance should be right around $64 to $65. The margin of profit, if we continue to trend up and hold above that EMA line, isn't too large. But if we can get in at an average price of around 62 to wait for a pullback closer to this EMA line and end up being able to exit right around $64, my margin of profit is right around 3.12%. If I stop loss, if it goes sub 62, it'd be about less than 1% potential for loss. The last thing that I wanted to talk about is that let's see. The last thing that I wanted to talk about for these 3 callouts is that there's this fourth one. This fourth one is very risky, so I put ticker symbol LABD, high risk down pattern. Again, this is not something that I'd encourage any of our new traders to focus on. But one thing that just happened is we've been watching LABU. We were trading that all week last week, right? We called it out when it bounced on the EMA line. It broke above it bounced on the SMA line, broke above the EMA line, and started to continue to uptrend. It covered an amazing amount of margin. I actually thought it was going to get rejected right around like 105, 110. Pushed up, almost made new highs right around excuse me, 112, 113. And as we can see, it's having a pretty solid sell-off. Based on previous patterns and the last time that it approached this area, it sold off and it bounced around the SMA indicator. So with that understanding, its inverse ETF, it would make sense for LABD. Just based on the last time that it did this, it broke above the EMA line and it covered close and near to this SMA line. So that's why I broke it down. If it continues to uptrend, again, keyword, if it continues to uptrend and stays true to this EMA line, then my ideal entry would be right around $23. Sell point would be around 25, stop loss around 22.40, and then the potential for profit in comparison to the potential for loss. One thing that I want to know about this is like an approach that I've taken when it comes down to trading descending patterns is I have found it very attractive to focus on day trades and not on swing trades when it comes down to descending patterns. I know a lot of you are very familiar with that already, especially if you're part of the Learn Plan Profit group. But when something continues to make lower lows, then it's obvious that it might not be the best decision to hold it for a number of days, as based on previous patterns it continues to sell off, right? So although it is breaking above this EMA line and it's showing signs of an uptrend, like who knows what can actually happen with a very aggressive descending pattern. So again, it's just a form of way to manage your risk and stuff like that. And yeah, I just wanted to cover it very quickly. I wanted to provide you guys an update as you guys have been requesting for the stock market growth challenge. I ended up having to cut losses on you guys, as many of you guys noticed. For those that were part of a Learn Plan Profit, I talked about me having to had cut losses. I was down about 4.33%. And then I wanted to talk about my mistake when it came down to the UGAS position. I didn't trade this, or this isn't talking about my TD Ameritrade account. It's talking about the position that I had on UGAS on my Fidelity account. So I took a position before the confirmation. So right where I took the position was right around this area. So it started to push up, showing signs of an uptrend. It got really close to the EMA line, so I found that to be very attractive. And based on previous patterns before this huge sell-off, there was this very common pattern of it trading in between the $62 price point and $68 price point. Obviously, when it had a sell-off during extended hours, that's when I originally got filled. And then when I got filled, I saw that it continuously got rejected by this EMA line. And I noticed that as it was pushing up, it continued to get rejected, and it just made a lot of sense on why this thing was selling off. And if you look at /NG, you can see that pattern follows as well. As of right now, there's no proper indication of a reversal for you guys alone. And although it is approaching a previous support, there is no confirmation of a reversal. So one thing that I'll do is I'll set my series of alerts here. But that's definitely something that I learned from. It's something that we've talked about multiple times before, about why it's so important to wait for confirmation, and that when there's a break of pattern, that I should be a little bit more structured to cutting losses. For a lot of those that get to watch me trade live, if you're part of the Learn Plan Profit group, you guys understand kind of my trading style, and sometimes I do wait a little bit longer, even when it does break its patterns, just because these patterns have been so consistent. But there's a very strong break of pattern because you guys, when I usually trade it, because this is one of the most common ETFs that I've traded before, it offered this very consistent pattern, but it wasn't until it broke below the SMA line that it really started to break its pattern, and that's ideally when I ended up taking this position, very unfortunately, right? So again, lesson learned, moving on from that, down about 4.33%. And then what I wanted to talk about was, what I'm looking at trading next, and that is ticker symbol CROX, just because I'm looking and watching it to trade for my Fidelity account or the stock market growth challenge. It doesn't mean that I actually have to take a position, but I wanted to talk about why I found it to be somewhat attractive. So you can see that the overall SMA line, it's been showing a very consistent sign of an uptrend pattern. Usually when it sells off, it bounces right around this SMA line. And as you guys can see, it's sold off. It's showing signs of consolidation right around here. And I have a series of alerts set because as of right now, I just see this consolidating, so it's not really an active uptrend pattern. We could see the MACD bar also peaking out, so I think it might take some time. But I have my alert set, so once it does break above 1750, if I see that it's really holding above and actually making higher highs, then this is pretty much my plan. 1750, exit at $19, stop loss if it goes below $17, potential for profit in comparison to potential for loss. I just want to give you guys a friendly reminder that just because I'm trading a specific stock, or I'm talking about the stocks that I see value and stuff like that, in no way are any of these any stock suggestions. You guys know that from the very beginning. I've never encouraged anyone to take a position based on my opinion or anything like that. So I just want to make sure that that's something that we all understand. So yeah, I mean that's really just it. So yeah, I owed you guys this video. I know that this video was due about 5 hours ago at around 7 p.m. It's about 12:05 a.m. So I do apologize for the delayed upload. Today was kind of just a little bit of a weird day, and unfortunately, I kind of was just all over the place. But yeah, getting a lot of things resolved for the new house. We're going to be speaking to our lender tomorrow for the new property, trying to see if we can get pre-qualified and all that, or what approach we can take to move in as quick as possible, because I just accepted the offer for the house that I own next door. But that's really just it. So no, unfortunately, I did not get we did not even go to the Maserati dealership to check out the new car. we were on the phone for a little bit too long, and the day kind of just got ruined. There's that thing that went wrong, and one of my meetings fell through as well. So kind of was just all over the place. So when do I move in? What's going on, Luis? So I hope you guys all have an amazing rest of your night. If you guys can do me the biggest favor, I know if it's too much to ask, definitely don't do it. But if you guys can give the video a thumbs up, we'd greatly appreciate it. If you guys haven't subscribed already, I tend to upload 2 videos every single day. One video recapping on my trades, as I did earlier today. I covered a little bit over $250 profit. And then I make a second video, either a helpful video or something that someone suggests and stuff like that. So thank you again for everything it is that you guys do. I wish you guys an amazing and green week. And if you guys want to join our free TechBud Solutions trading community, be sure to click that third link down below. Once you guys get accepted, you guys will see this Facebook group. We have a little bit over 120,000 members. You'll see this group chat on the top pinned post in the announcement section. Be sure to click that first link. It'll take you on over to our private Discord chat. And then if you want the ability to watch me trade live every single day and work with me a little bit closer, please, I would encourage you to watch my videos first, become familiar with my investing style. If you find that to be of value, then be sure to click that first link down below. Invest 30 seconds, check it out. There's a couple videos that you can review to learn a little bit more about me, what it is that I do, and how it is that, I invest and stuff like that. So I wish you guys an amazing rest of your night. And like always, guys, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.